All right. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's session. So, without any hesitation, at this point, I'm going to introduce our presenter for today. I am happy to present Sheila James. Sheila is a transformative leader with over 25 years of experience in youth development, known for elevating the quality of programs that serve children and youth. Her expertise in coaching, training, and mentoring equips educators and program staff with innovative strategies and practical tools. With a keen eye on trends in after school and early childhood education, Sheila stays ahead of the curve to ensure excellence in the field. Her dedication to equity and empowering others has been the cornerstone of her impactful and purpose driven leadership. Sheila, take it away.
Hello, everyone. And again, I apologize because for whatever reason, this was on my calendar at 12 o'clock. And, we all try to multitask and squeeze as much as we can into the day. So I squeeze in another meeting right before this one, like, well, I've got time. I can talk to them. So please, please, please excuse me. I do not like to be late. And where's my PowerPoint right here? I don't like to be late, so please excuse me for that. But my name is Sheila, and I am so excited to be here. And Pennsylvania. So, short story, I just moved from Ohio about, well, 5 years ago. So you all were neighbors, and my husband retired, and we are now Southerners. We stay at Myrtle Beach, but your cold has gotten lost, and it's been down here the past couple days, but we will be back in the 70s by next week, so I'm excited about that. So I'm excited to be here. So we're going to talk about career connected learning. Um, the world is changing, and with that change, we as adults who work with youth have to think about what we are doing and how we are impacting and working with the youth. How are we helping them to become the leaders of tomorrow? And so one of the tools that STEMnext developed is called the Career Connected Learning Framework. And we're going to dig into the surface level of it today. There are a lot of levels, but I'm going to overview the framework and what I like to call is actually one of the most important parts of the framework, which is durable skills. So I am the manager of a program called Teen Science Cafe, and Teen Science Cafe falls under the umbrella of STEMnext Opportunity Fund, and we offer informal hands-on opportunities for youth to engage with adults from STEM careers. So, and we do it in a cafe-like setting, and it's led for the youth, by the youth. The youth do everything. They have an adult who's like a guide on the side who helps them, but they lead their own cafes. It's a really cool program. And I'm not saying that because that's my job, but it's really a cool program. So share with me, and I know Contrail said you all are muted, but I like to talk. I love interaction because I think we learn a lot from each other. So share with me what is one way your program encourages communication or teamwork amongst your youth. Is it projects? What does this look like in your programs? You can drop it in the chat. So I think I can see the chat too. How do you encourage communication? And then I'm going to do two polls. How many of you are working directly with youth? And how many of you are program managers, directors, or grant writers? And so this is going to be a twofold question. If you work directly with youth, what's one way your program encourages communication or teamwork? If you are a manager or a director, how do you support your staff in encouraging communication or teamwork with their youth? And you can't have one without the other. If you're a director, you have to support your staff so that they can do this. And if you're leading a program, there has to be some intentionality on your part so that this can happen. And you can either unmute or drop it in the chat. And while you're thinking about that, and so Marie says she's a lead teacher for a K-2 program and she encourages working in teams and get different kids to work with each other. Yes. Families, yes, yes. Families, we can't leave out families. Weekly phone calls to our families and bi-weekly talks with our partners. Yes, all of those are important. Thank you. So, hello, I'm Sheila. We're going to talk a little bit about career-connected learning, durable skills, what those skills look like in action. I'm going to give you a few quick tips for practice, wrap up, and then a few resources. So our objective today is to talk about the career-connected learning, talk about the framework, how you are already doing this in your programs, and we're going to cover some simple strategies to deepen the durable skill development that I know you're already doing. So who are we? We are STEM Next Opportunity Fund, and we're a national nonprofit. And I won't say our main goal, but 90% of the goal of what we do is to scale STEM learning. And we do this by working with adults who work in programs. We have a goal to help programs excite 20 million more young people in STEM. For those of you who've been engaged with the Pennsylvania Network, you know, for 5 years, I'm sure you knew, we were working on the Million Girl Moonshot, where our goal was to engage 1 million girls in STEM. And we surpassed that goal, I think, times 3. And so now our goal is to engage 20 million more young people in the STEM fields. And our outcomes are to increase availability and youth participation in STEM, increase the quality of STEM programs. And we do that by providing resources and supports to improve program quality. We amplify the voices of young people and educators to share their experiences. We do that through 2 specific ways. One is our flight crew. I don't know, does Pennsylvania have a flight crew, young person?
Yes, we do, Sheila.
We do.
Her,
Yay.
yep, her name is Amanda. She's from the Shimity High School around the Langhorne/Philadelphia area.
Okay. All right. And I know we also do have teen science cafes in Pennsylvania. So you are um, utilizing 2 of the ways that we amplify the voices of young people and educators. We partner with high performing organizations to boost collaboration. We collect data and then we provide guidance to government agencies in supporting OST. So what is career connected learning? It is a framework for OST providers. It covers 3 stages of career connected learning, and that is awareness, exploration, and preparedness. And we'll talk a little bit more about where each of those show up in your programs. But the important thing, and I know you know this, I know this, I'm always telling people this, is that out of school time, we are, you know, the bee's knees, we are the icing on the cake, we are the cream in the coffee. We are that space where we can do things that cannot happen during the school day. We can introduce youth to STEM careers, STEM activities, anything, because we have that flexibility and we're fun. We're a lot more fun than, you know, going to school and sitting in a desk all day and having someone talk at you. Our youth get to really engage and do hands-on activities within our after-school programs. So how this training connects to the framework is that we provide opportunities for all youth to build durable skills such as communication, teamwork, positive decision making, and growth mindset. And we include time to apply STEM specific skills such as measurement, equipment use, and etc. So, our career connected learning strategies include broad skill development, career connected STEM, family and family and community engagement, and connected pathways and partnerships. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each one, but we're going to spend the most time talking about broad skill development. So, what is broad skill development? Broad skill development is what we like to think of as those durable skills. I think the other term they used to call them easy skills or something along those lines, but we came up with durable skills is a better description of what these skills are and how they work.
They used to call them soft skills, Sheila.
Soft skills, that's what it was. Soft skills, yeah. So quick question. Your career path. How many jobs have you had in your life? And how many careers have you had to date? How many jobs have you had in your life? And how many careers have you had to date? And I'll give you a moment to think about that. For me, as you're thinking, I have had two careers and about 8 or 9 jobs. My first career was nursing. I actually used to be a nurse and decided I didn't like that. And then I ended up in early childhood and then youth development. And Mary said she's had one career and many jobs. Amanda's had 6 jobs and one career. Okay. Um, our paths are not this straight line. We sort of, it's like you're on a road trip, like this map. You're going straight, then you might hit a curve, and then you might turn and end up someplace else. You might end up back on the same path. And that's the thing that we have to share with our youth, that there is not a straight path, or they don't have to be on a straight path. One of the activities that we do at STEM Next is we host career chats. And this is a way for youth to go one-on-one with people in different STEM careers. And back in August, we had about 23 teens from across the country on the call, and we had um, a geologist from Aramco and a data scientist from Qualcomm. And we were on with these two adults for about an hour. And the most amazing thing, the most feedback we received from all of the youth was that they thought it was so awesome that the data scientist actually went to school to become a professional dancer. And she ended up in data science because her family said, you got to have something to fall back on because that might not come to pass. She always liked math. So she was like, well, this is something that I can do. And when she told that to the youth, they started asking her questions like, so you weren't like in math clubs or math competitions or doing things like that. And so she said no. She says no, I was in every dance, cheer, performing, anything that would strengthen my skill as a dancer. They were in awe. Because for some of them in their minds, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to take all of these classes to end up where, I think I want to be. Um, and someone says, I also think the tech founders who were college dropouts, Jobs and Gates, there you go. But that's the thing we have to stress to our youth is that it's not one size fit all and that they can switch their path. So Jobs for the Future took a poll and with businesses all across the country. And one of the things that came out of that poll was that employers said they would hire the lowest ranked technical candidate with durable skills over the top ranked one without durable skills. So you think about our teens as they are heading out into the workforce. They have little to no experience, but you can help them develop those durable skills, which will help them get a job, which will help them be able to grow and learn the technical skills after they get the position. One of the things we do with Teen Science Cafe for our teens who lead cafes, we have a job skill readiness seal, so that as our teens are leading their cafe, the adult leader can highlight the durable skills that they are acquiring as they are leading their cafes. This idea came to me because in Ohio, we have an Ohio job seal readiness seal that youth have to complete before they graduate. And I said, well, let's take it and apply it to a cafe because they are doing a lot of the durable skills that I'm going to share with you. I don't know if you all have any of that in Pennsylvania. Do you all have a skills checklist that teens have to have before they graduate? Anybody knows? Yes. Okay. Um, I would say if you are working in an OST program, look at that skills checklist because some of the activities that you are doing in your out of school time program can actually help strengthen those skills. So take a look at that list. So, strategy one on the career connected framework is broad skill development. And these include your durable skills such as critical thinking, communication, collaboration, creativity, adaptability, and time management. Teens should be able to embrace challenges, persistence through setbacks, see failure as valuable learning, and appreciation for effort. So, another question. Which durable skills do you see most often in your youth? So think about when the youth are coming into your program and how they're going throughout the day, through the summer, day by day by day by day. Which durable skills do you see most often in your youth? Is it communication? Is it collaboration? Is it critical thinking, growth mindset, or creativity? Okay, Mary says creativity. Anyone else? Emily says creativity. Okay. So the thing I want you to think about is as you think about the durable skills that you see in your youth, think about how you can be more intentional to help strengthen and see some of the other skills. Think about what you're doing and how these skills may show up. So, and I'm going to make sure Contrail gets all of the resources that I have, and you'll get a copy of this Durable Skills by Pathsmith. So, durable skills, the definition is they are skills like communication, problem solving, collaboration, and growth mindset that help you succeed in life and work. These are, I like to say they're life skills because you have to know how to communicate, critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, creativity, leadership, growth mindset. So Pathsmith came up with this durable skills wheel where you see the durable skills and all of the ways that they show up. So like character includes professionalism, enthusiasm, accountability, high motivation, tactfulness, reliability, ethical conduct, social skills, and high integrity. Mindfulness is culturally sensitive, humility, emotional intelligence, listening skills, patience, empathy, compassion, CRM, hospitality. They have their will is a little more in depth because they have things like fortitude. And that includes self-confident, calmness under pressure, persistence, team motivation, self discipline, tenacity, optimism, motivational skills, and resilience. So, as you're thinking about what you are doing in your programs, think about how you can incorporate these skills into the activities that you are already doing. So, why do they matter? Because these are the skills that employers want to see. They're relevant across all careers. They're relevant in life. And they strengthen leadership and self-confidence in youth. Again, the employers say they will hire the lowest ranked technical candidate with durable skills over a top ranked one without them. And you think about your own day to day. Have you ever gone into an establishment and something happened and the employee was lacking one of those durable skills? Like patience. I was in a store and I was at U-Scan, and there was a younger person. You know how U-Scan in most stores you have the person who's sort of monitoring. And there was an elderly person who was trying to check out, and they had produce. And produce, sometimes the little number is not on the if it's something that's wrapped or if it's a piece of fruit or something, sometimes the number is not there. And this elderly person was trying to figure out, how to input it. And then they hit the look it up and then they couldn't find it. And the person who was monitoring the self checkout came and snatched the item out of the person's hand and said, all you have to do is go in and do this. And they started doing it. And I was about to say something, but the lady in front of me did instead and said, you were rude. A little patience goes a long way. So patience is one of those durable skills that is necessary, not just for work, but in life. That was an elderly person who was probably not used to using U-Scan. And this was actually 2 weeks ago when they told us we were having an ice storm down here. And everybody was in the store buying up all the things. And so people were just flustered because, it didn't happen. It passed over us, but it was high tension. And I'm sure the store worker was frustrated, but so was that elderly person who was just trying to get them a few staples in case we did get iced in. And so Ralph says, a unique thing we started at our Teen Minister Hub is introducing a career plan and a portfolio, okay, which uses the PA academic standards for career education and work smart futures. Your major goal is to work with our teens, define programs and majors, and identify schools, colleges, and trades offering the best return for their career goals and development. And that is wonderful because not all youth are going to go to a 4-year university. Not all youth want to go to a university at all. Some of them want to come out and start their own businesses. But all of those durable skills, regardless to whether it's a trade school, whether it's a internship, whether it is a 2-year school, they need those durable skills in order to make it through that curriculum. So that is a great idea. So career-connected learning, broad skill development, career-connected STEM, family and community engagement, and connected careers and pathways. So what does this look like? In elementary school, it is career awareness. The primary focus in elementary school is introducing youth to the concept of work. You're fostering an understanding of careers. You're emphasizing the value of lifelong learning. After school and summer providers, families, and community members play a crucial role in supporting youth in developing durable skills, teamwork, and goal setting abilities, and navigating their interests and skills. So then by the time you get to middle school, and not saying that you can't do this in elementary school, but in elementary school, you're introducing work to them. And we know nowadays our kids know, what work is, but we are sort of opening their eyes to all of the possibilities. And then in middle school, we are going to begin exploring. You want to increase their awareness of different careers and, most importantly, the pathways by, education or training or whatever they're going to need to reach their career interests. As they begin to dig deeper into understanding themselves and the world of work and their skills and preferences and interests, everything begins to become clearer. They begin to get an idea of, oh, wow, I really do like this. I like art. How can I incorporate art into a career that will sustain a lifestyle for me? So you're helping them to sort of look and see, you know, what the possibilities are and what their pathways might be to get there. In high school, we're really going to dig into career preparedness, just like what Ralph said. The emphasis is honing in on career choices and gaining hands on experiences that prepare youth for the world of work. At this stage, youth are developing a clearer vision of what their path beyond high school could be. And it's important for them to try to test or try on different experiences to see if they are a good fit. In one of our rural communities in Ohio, they are part, and when I say rural, I mean really rural, where the biggest careers in this community are welding, and it might be like tractors, repair, work, selling, or things like that. So the school district went to community partners to say, hey, or the community partners went to the school district, because the issue is with rural communities is keeping youth there and letting them see that they have a place in those communities and they have impact. They can have an impact on their community. So in this community, they started a welding entrepreneurship program where the welders begin working with youth in middle school, sort of showing them the different pathways and different things that welders can do and different career areas that welders can work in. Showing them tools, showing them, what a day in the life might be like. And then they work with them through high school. And what the program is, by the time, and youth who are really interested and know that they want to do, by the time they come out of high school, they are certified welders. So when you think about career connected learning, having programs like that are great because youth can say, one, oh, wow, I can stay in my community. I can have an impact on my community. I can make a living wage and support my family. And then by the time they come out of high school, they are ready to do that. And you all, if you have questions, just pop out and ask. So when we think about career awareness, and remember, this is the elementary school level. So for broad skill development, some of the things that you might do, you would provide opportunities for them to cultivate their durable skills, critical thinking, collaboration, growth mindset. You demonstrate goal setting and understand the importance of teamwork in working towards a common goal, and you build upon self-awareness, strength, hobbies, and interests. For career connected STEM, you can facilitate relevant, high quality STEM activities where youth explore the practices of STEM professionals. So when you're doing your STEM activities, you are referring to them as engineers or designers or developers. You're using the language, and you, as they are doing the activities, you are sharing how the activities that they are doing actually relate to these real careers. You provide examples for all youth to understand the concept of job and career. So it's job and careers in their community, career fairs, local guest speakers, STEM videos, visits to family at work. And here's where I like to get on my soapbox and say STEM careers do not have to always be chemist and scientist and biologist and all of the ist. So many different careers relate to the S to the T to the E or to the M. Another example in one of my rural Ohio communities, and speaking with the school and the after school program, they're like, well, we don't have a lot of STEM professionals down here. We're, a farming community and, we just don't have it. So we don't know what we can do. And so I started asking them some questions. I said, so, what are some of the main activities that happen in the community? They're like, well, we hunt, we farm, we do. I said, okay, who processes the deer meat during deer season? Which letters of the S, the T, the E, the M is that deer processor working around? And they said, well, I said, let's think about it. They have got to know how to, because you got to, and I don't know all of the technical terms, but you've got to hang the meat and skin take the hide off, and then that's the science of it. You have tools, the T, that you're using to do this. The E or the math to me is knowing where to cut, because there are certain ways that you cut the meat in order to get the cuts that you want. And so they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't think of it like that. I'm like, that is your STEM. So when you think about the concepts of job and career and careers in their communities, don't put yourself in a box where you're only thinking of the people who work at the hospital or the people who, are working in the lab or, those people. Think about other people. Make it relevant to the youth and their communities. And then make sure you're designing activities where youth have voice and choice, and they can see how STEM can make a difference in their lives and their communities, i.e., the deer processor, the person who fixed the tractors in the community. And note that youth voice is more than just, I want to do art versus I want to go outside. Youth voice is giving them an opportunity to share their thoughts, share their opinions, to have a real voice in how things are shaken and moving. Family and communication, family and community engagement. How do you include families in this? You provide, and I forgot who said that at the beginning, but who said that? Pamela said that they provide regular communication with families to share STEM. They provide regular communication with families. Also share with them STEM and career resources, youth progress, and successes. Include STEM professionals from the community and beyond into STEM activities, including virtual activities. Organize family and community engagement opportunities, like STEM take-home activities, family STEM nights, career days. Help your families to see what the options are for their youth. And then connected pathways and partnerships. You are connecting your out of school time STEM to school to create STEM opportunity continuum, if possible. You organize exposure to local science centers, farms, places of work to see STEM in action. And you connect with your state after school network. That's why you're here, because of your network. So there's a lot that you're already doing, but you have to be intentional and know why you're doing it so that you are really connecting those dots. And I'm not going to read all the way through career exploration, but again, for each of the areas, there are certain things that you should be doing as an leader in an after school program. And I will make sure that you all get all of this. And career preparation, broad skill development, you're encouraging youth to apply durable skills in work-based learning, part-time employment, leadership programs, and this is for your high schoolers. Facilitate industry specific projects and tasks that stimulate the world of work. And I'm going to, again, do my own plug here. Teen Science Cafe is a great way if you're working with high schoolers. I'll make sure you have my information. It is a great way for youth to do all of these things in your programs. It's a great way to engage high school teens. So, OST in action. At a summer program in San Diego, a group of middle school youth were challenged to build a catapult. We all do that catapult activity. That could launch a ping pong ball 6 feet using basic materials such as rubber bands, popsicle sticks, and a spoon. Each team member was assigned a rotating role: project manager, builder, timekeeper, and reporter. At the end, teams shared what worked and what didn't during a 2-minute team reflection. What durable skills were highlighted? What durable skills were highlighted in this activity? And this is an activity that I've seen in a lot of programs. One of my former roles, I was the national director of STEM for YMCA USA, and I got to travel all across the country and see programs implementing STEM. And this was always one of the activities. That catapults was a fun one. The kids loved doing catapults. And Marie says communication, problem solving, collaboration. Yep. Yep. So this is a very easy way to implement those skills in the activities that you're doing. But your staff, you and or your staff have to be intentional and know that when you're assigning these roles, so before assigning the roles, you might talk about what the responsibilities are for each role and what they might look like. You might share with them what this looks like on a real engineering team who's actually building something, telling them, this is what the project manager does, this is what the builder does, this is what the timekeeper does, this is what the reporter does. This is also a great way to, like, if you have youth who you always have that one kid who always wants to talk and be in the front of the room. But you always also have that one child who has so much to say, but they're sort of shy. This is a great way to sort of pivot and have the kid who always wants to be the reporter to maybe be the timekeeper, and the kid who always wants to be the timekeeper could step up and be the reporter. It's a great way to work on those skills with the youth and help them to strengthen those skills without, making them feel uncomfortable. And Mary says creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication. That is correct. Thank you. So the durable skills that were highlighted through that activity: communication through team planning and reflection, leadership because they were rotating roles, critical thinking, the design process, and growth mindset. They were learning from failed launches. So again, you and or your staff just have to be intentional when you're planning your activities, and on your lesson plan, I would suggest maybe making a box and writing down what durable skills are you working on this week, and how you are going to implement those durable skills within the activity. So let's do one more. During an after-school program in a community center in Detroit, youth participated in a Redesign the Program Playground Challenge. They were each given graph paper, cardboard, Legos, and recycled materials to reimagine a play space for younger kids. After prototyping their ideas, they completed a short reflection form asking, What was your biggest challenge? How did you solve it? And what skill did you use most? The youth then did a gallery walk where teams gave peer feedback using sentence starters like, I liked how you, and next time you might. Do you give your team, your youth, opportunities for reflection? Why do you think this is considered a low cost, high impact strategy? This is a low cost to high impact strategy. What made it high impact? I'll tell you. Problem solving, because they were navigating a design challenge. Creativity, it was open ended building with limited materials. Communication, they were explaining design and giving feedback. And growth mindset, they were seeing critique as a part of improvement. Again, in my travels, I was in a program, and this was over. I think this is about maybe 8 or 9 years ago, but this has stayed with me the whole time. I was in Iowa. I was at a program. I had been there all day for a summer program, and at the end of the day, they had like this community space, and all of the youth, I saw them grabbing notebooks and stuff, and they walked to the community space and they sat in the circle, and a couple of the older kids stood up because a lot of the youth did a lot of the leading in this program. And the youth said, okay, they did the 1, 2, 3 eyes on me and said, okay, break off into count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I want all the ones go in a group, all the twos go in a group, all the threes go in a group, and give us the day's highlights and some question. I forget what the questions were. But these youth sat down for about, I want to say anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, and they had a set of questions that they were asked for each group. Each group had a recorder, a reporter, and they talked amongst themselves. The leader and the staff person did the chimes. They came back together, and then each group gave their critique of what happened during the day, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the staff wrote down everything that they said. And some of them wrote it down. Some of the groups wrote it down and gave it to the staff. And the staff used this as a planning tool for how they planned programming. I was in awe because one, they took it very seriously. I mean, even from the youngest in the group, they took this very seriously. They, you know how when you put kids in a group, you always have that one kid who just not focused, and they were like, no, sit down, it's time, we need to do this. So they took it seriously, and they took it seriously because they knew that the staff paid attention and listened. They knew that they really had youth voice. They knew, growth mindset, that critique was a part of improvement, that the next time they revisited an activity as a group, the staff took into account the things that they said didn't work. And I will say they also shared this. They had a community partner who had come in to do some sort of an art project. They also shared the feedback with the community partners who came in to engage with the youth. And they used that as a means for, who got in and who didn't. But it was a very one of those low cost, high impact activities that they did at the end of their program every day. So what I want you to do, and we have a few minutes, I want you to think of one activity you already lead with your youth. It can be a STEM challenge, it could be an art project, it could be a leadership circle. And I'm going to, with the materials that Contrail gets, you will get a reflection template for you to go back and use with your staff. But what durable skill does it already support? And how might you deepen that skill development? And so remember, these durable skills, like if we were making a cake, the durable skills are your flour, whether it's almond flour, bleach flour, cake flour. It's what you need to bake that cake and build the foundation for preparedness, preparation, and awareness. The durable skills are sort of the thing that holds all of those together. So think about what you're already doing. What activity, where do you see a durable skill, and how do you think you can deepen that skill development? And I would love to hear one or two people share, either in the chat or unmute. And an important thing about this, if you're going back to train your staff, you being intentional with your staff to help them be intentional with what they're doing, helping them to really think about, or helping you to really think about what activities you're doing. It's more than just saying, oh, we're going to do, what do they call that stuff? Slime today. Okay, you want to do slime, but how can you be intentional with it? What durable skill are your youth working on when they're making slime? How can you deepen that skill development? And this is what makes after school so cool, is that we have the opportunity to do things like this, to take a skill, deepen it, and give children an opportunity to strengthen these skills that they're going to need for life or for work as they think about how they're going to impact their own communities. Anybody?
This is Amanda. Hi.
Hi.
One of my favorite STEM activities that I do with my students, we do Lego downhill racers. So they have to design and build their own Lego race car that has no engine power, it's simply gravity fed. And so but I have to make them work in teams. So there's a lot of collaboration that has to go into there. There's a lot of creativity that has to go into it. And I make them, part of their requirement is they have to do some trial runs before our official final test. So we get some growth mindset in there as well. But one thing that I would like to deepen potentially is that reflection component. Like that example you just gave was wonderful. And really giving them the opportunity to come together at the end and have a reflection about what groups were successful, why were they successful, and have that more deep focus at the end would be something way I would like to change that lesson.
I say go for it. Thank you for sharing. And I will tell you this, I had so many questions after I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, how did you guys get this to work? Because, a lot of times when we do things with youths, it's like, they don't really want it. These kids, and they were about 50, I want to say we're about 50 kids, give or take. They took this part of the day very seriously. Like I said, they were, in their little groups, and I didn't like it when this happened because we should have had more time to do this, because I was like, oh my goodness. And the staff said it took a little time for the youth to actually see that they were really listening to them, because kids know when we're not listening to them. So it took time for them to realize, they really are listening. Especially, they said, they would listen, and as they were planning, they would go, well, we changed this based off of the feedback that you gave us. We changed how this is going to look. And so they would, have more conversations. And so it was really a beautiful thing. I loved it. So I say, yay, go for it. Thank you. Anyone else? So 5 quick wins for durable skill building. Assign team roles. Give youth rotating roles like leader, recorder, or timekeeper to practice responsibility and collaboration. Please be equitable when you're doing this. And if you're giving roles such as recorder or leader, be cognizant that you're not always asking the girls to be the recorder and the boys to be the leader. because those are some of those subconscious things that we do. Celebrate mistakes, normalize failures as learning. Ask, what did we learn from that? Share your own failures. Tell your staff, let them know when you messed up. If your staff aren't sharing this with your teens, they should be. Use reflection prompts. What skill did you use today? Or how did your team solve that challenge? Try peer feedback. Use sentences starters like, I noticed you, or next time you could. Another tip for STEM activities, sometimes when youth are in the thrust of the activity, I will have everybody do a hands up, materials down, and we'll go around the group and say one thing that worked, one thing that didn't. And from that, the peer feedback would come. So group A might say, well, I was trying to get I was thinking that if I did ... my Lego would go faster. And one of the other kids would go, well, no, maybe next time you should do this. So that is a different way to give feedback within the group. It makes them step back and look at what they're doing. And then set mini goals. Start activities with what's one thing you want to improve today? Or what's one thing you want to accomplish today while you're here in the program? That's a great way to start your programming. So which strategy will you try next? Is it going to be reflection questions, team roles, focus on growth mindset, or are you going to encourage youth-led problem solving? If you are a director or a manager, I encourage you to encourage your staff to be intentional and think of what strategies they are going to work on, to think about the durable skills and how they fit within the activities that you are already doing. I will make sure you all have all of these. There's some ready to use activities I've put together. I will make sure you get the framework and the durable skills wheel. And Contrail also has this PowerPoint. So when he sends it out, Contrail, I don't know, do you send out the PowerPoint after the training?
Yeah, Control just was stepping out just for a second.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll have an email thanking everyone, and
okay.
I'll go in and out, and then
Okay. And so they'll have access to the activities and the articles and the tools. So
Perfect.
So if you could do me a favor, a quick favor, this is how I keep my job. Please scan my little QR code and give me some feedback. What is your biggest takeaway from today's session? Please, if you have time. And I know Rachel was also throwing her feedback form in there. I know feedback is a lot of what we all do now. So if you could complete this would be great. I would appreciate it. They would know I'm really working today. So thank you. And I'll leave that up for a few moments to let everybody scan it. If you could just fill it out, I would appreciate it. So they know I was not scrapbooking. I was actually working today.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Sheila. And thank
You're
everyone
welcome.
for being here. Did you want to add anything else? Do you want to go ahead?
Nope. My final quote is, you're already helping youth to develop powerful skills every day. Our job is to name it, nurture it, and connect it to their futures. Thank you for the work you do in creating spaces where youth grow, explore, and prepare for what is coming next. On February 18th, if you really want to dig into the Career Connected Learning Series, STEM Next has a training called Career Connected Learning Series, Durable Skills Development and Career Exploration, specifically for middle school students. And the Museum of Science Boston is hosting this one for us. Tons of free resources, activities, and everything. You can get that off of the STEM Next website, and I will make sure you guys have that. And then if you
spending your afternoon with me, I hope you enjoyed the training. Let's keep in touch. The QR code has all my social media connections.
There you go. You can follow me on social media. I am always posting free STEM activities, resources, and all the things. So would love to keep in touch via social media, and that is LinkedIn, Instagram. I am the informal STEM lady on social media.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sheila, thank you so much. It was so much information, very informative. Really, really appreciate you being here and everyone else to be here as well. We'll get this out to all of our attendees, and it'll be on our website as well. If that's all.
Thank you. And if anybody is going to any conferences, if you're going to NAA, National After School Association, pop in and see me. I'll be doing a couple of presentations at NAA, and I'd love to speak and say hi and just, chat about what we do. So thank you. Or Boost. I'm also at Boost this year too. So would love to see you if you're there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone.